Organizations working with HIV and AIDS across Africa have received widespread notices of funding termination, raising concerns about a significant increase in deaths, following the U.S. government's decision to permanently end funding for HIV projects. Critical services have been disrupted, according to doctors and program managers. These services range from support for orphans and pregnant women to outreach programs for transgender individuals and sex workers. Projections indicate that the funding cuts could lead to 500,000 deaths in South Africa over the next decade, while thousands of people are expected to lose their jobs in the coming days. Elon Musk and Donald Trump plan to reduce over 90% of the contracts held by the U.S.'s primary development agency, USAID, and cut $60 billion in overseas aid spending. Domestically, the Trump regime has removed the online application forms for several popular student debt repayment programs, causing confusion for borrowers. This removal affects applications for income-driven repayment plans, IDRs, which limit monthly payments based on income, and the loan consolidation application on the U.S. Department of Education's website. The removal occurred shortly after a federal appeals court extended a pause on President Joe Biden's SAVE program, an income-driven repayment plan designed to forgive loans after as few as 10 years of payments. This program has been stalled since last summer due to a lawsuit by Republican state attorneys general, leaving approximately 8 million borrowers in limbo while litigation continues. And in a departure from long-standing intelligence assessments, the Trump regime has downplayed the threat Russia poses to U.S. national security and critical infrastructure. This policy shift, experts warn, could increase the U.S.'s vulnerability to cyber attacks from Russia and reflects a warming relationship between Trump and the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Recent incidents highlight this change in stance. Liesl France, Deputy Assistant Secretary for International Cybersecurity at the State Department, recently addressed a United Nations working group on cybersecurity, and while she identified China and Iran as cyber threats, she omitted any mention of Russia or the Russia-based Lockbit ransomware group, which the US previously identified as the most prolific ransomware operation worldwide. In contrast, representatives from the European Union and the UK specifically emphasized the cyber threat posed by Russia, particularly in connection with its offensive actions against Ukraine. But, as we know, Donald Trump, after his performance in the Oval Office, ambushing Volodymyr Zelensky to turn Americans and American policy against Ukraine, favoring Russia, that's all you need to know about where the current administration has put its allegiance. Internal documents further confirm this cybersecurity policy change. A recent memo from the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency, which monitors threats to U.S. critical infrastructure, prioritized China and local system protection, but did not mention Russia. We've cleaned up our diets, removed the harsh chemicals from our homes, so why are we still relying on outdated remedies for our health? Let me tell you about the highest quality CBD from CB Distillery. They offer natural, plant-based solutions for sleep, stress, and even post-workout pain that actually work. And get this, 90% of people report better sleep with CBD. That's a big deal. And if you're battling daily stress or trying to ease that nagging pain after exercise, CB Distillery has solutions for that too. Once you try it, you'll wonder how you ever got by without it. With over 2 million satisfied customers and a 100% money-back guarantee, you can trust CB Distillery. And right now, you can save 20% with promo code 5MIN at cbdistillery.com. That's cbdistillery.com, promo code 5MIN. cbdistillery.com. Not available in Idaho, Iowa, and South Dakota. Meanwhile, Donald Trump continues with his standard of at least 1 or 2 scandals every single day. He's now preparing to sign an executive order to make English the official language of the United States for the first time. This order would overturn a mandate introduced by former President Bill Clinton requiring federal agencies and recipients of federal funds to provide language assistance to non-English speakers. The United States has never had a federally designated national language in its nearly 250-year history. With a long-standing tradition of immigration, the U.S. is home to hundreds of spoken languages, with Spanish being practically widespread. Well, a White House summary of the order states that its goal is to promote unity, establish efficiency in the government, and provide a pathway to civic engagement. Agencies would still be permitted to offer services and documents in languages other than English under the new directive, but the executive order is part of a series of nationalist actions, including renaming the Gulf of Mexico as the Gulf of America in official documents and reverting the name of North America's tallest mountain from Denali to Mount McKinley. Trump has previously used anti-multilingual rhetoric to support his stance against open borders and immigration in the U.S. The U.S. does not have an open border and never has. The migrant crisis, a theatre production that helped Donald Trump get elected, supporting his desire to make America white again. I'm Anthony Davis. You can find me on the 5 Minute News YouTube channel and podcast, on Wednesdays co-hosting Uncovered, and on Sunday on The Weekend Show with Midas Touch.